The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests.
What is going on, my Ghost Squad? Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast Live. This is episode number 358. Today's date is Tuesday, October 1st, 2024. Damn, this year has gone by fast. We are streaming live to over 150 countries worldwide. If you're out there in the live chat, go ahead and say something. We don't know that you're out there unless you do. If you are watching this in replay or listening to this in podcast form, go ahead and say something in the comments. The conversation does not have to stop here. We ask you to share it, rate it, review it, all that good stuff over on podcast form. But we also want to invite you to the live show every Tuesday at 7 Central on our YouTube channel. It's a cool place if you're wanting to meet some new people in this gun sphere, if you will. Great people out here in the chat and all that. We do invite you to come and join the dark side. So if you're out there, come on over. The pool's, well, it's kind of warm. We pee in a lot, so it's pretty warm, but you never know. But we do invite you over there. If you want to text into the show, yes, you can text into the show. Utilize the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends over at Wilder Tactical. That number is 530-364-4678. Once again, 530-364-4678. And go check out our buddies over at Wilder Tactical. If you're like I am and you're kind of a gear junkie, I've got probably more backpacks and battle belts than any human probably should have. Go check out Wilder. They got all the great cool stuff. They got probably the best battle belt in the world. That's just my opinion. But they're great. They've got med kits. They've got tourniquets. They've got all the gear that you possibly want. If you're a gear junkie, like I said, go check out wildertactical.com and tell them Ghost sent you. If you're a veteran, really anybody, but especially if you're a veteran and you're in that hole, you're in the darkness, and you're looking for the light, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I cannot give you medical advice, but I could probably walk you through some stuff and hopefully talk away some of the dark, and more importantly, just listen. If you are looking for someone that can get you towards some medical attention, remember two things. One, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers out here that are willing and able to help you in any way possible. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255, or you can text TALK to 741-741. We are spotlighting, as always, the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title of United States Marine, see the website marines.com. And as always, we are proud members of the Self-Defense Radio Network and the Firearms Radio Network. Go check out all your favorite pro-gun, pro-2A podcasts over at selfdefenseradio.net and firearmsradio.net. Let's take this off of my ugly mug and say hello to the merry band of morons this week. Let's start with the, oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. You guys. The Rainbow Warriors right there, guys. There they are, right there. Yeah.
Go Hawaii.
Anderson. What's that?
I said go Hawaii.
Sure, whatever you say.
Go
buddy.
Jeff Gordon.
Hawaii is the Rainbow Warriors. That's
yeah, I'm not talking about the rainbow. I'm not talking about the rainbows out of Hawaii. I'm talking about the Rainbow Warriors.
No, John. Jeff Gordon is the Rainbow Warrior.
He was, yeah. And they say for a couple different reasons, but that, that's what it is. I don't know that personally, so whatever. From Anderson Manufacturing, we've got the man, the myth, the shirtless wonder himself. What's up, Kyle? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Trey, man. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Always, bro. I know that you had a hell of a weekend. First off, before we get going, I do want to say a couple things. To everyone that got hit by Hurricane Helene, I hope everyone's safe. Our buddy Chase in Florida, man, he just texted me a little while ago, and there was a storm that popped up, and he got 4 inches like real quick. Like Kyle, John, when we got off the phone, apparently as soon as we got off the phone with him, it like downpoured. He got 4 inches of rain in like an hour. But Helene caused a lot of havoc. Hope everyone's safe. Shout out to our buddy Sarge. He's over there in Western Carolina, and I talked to him today, and they have power, but it's going to be a while, and it's going to be some horrific things when it starts going down. Yeah, Snobs, that's the first time Chase seen 4 inches. That's a fact. That's true. I can't say much, so it's what it is. Rod out there says degenerates unite. Hell yeah. Yeah. So Kyle, you were busy. You had a couple different things going on last week.
Yeah. So Friday was out in Terrell, Texas for Texas Valor Project. If you haven't seen the Tigers, definitely check out the Instagram, the Facebook page. They Cerakoted them all different types, all different branches of service. The Marine Corps obviously got the most at auction.
Of course. I mean, was there any doubt? Let's just be honest.
There wasn't. But we were able to raise with the Tigers alone, and they raised a lot more with everything they auctioned off, $28,000. And
that's just from the Tigers alone, the 5 Tigers? Holy cow.
So, in talking to Travis, one of the founders of it, that's going to put 4 veterans through a complete work through on their TBI treatment. So, super stoked for that, man. Super stoked about that. You know, that's near and dear to my heart. And
I know. I was going to say, I know that's above a lot of things. That particularly is near and dear to your heart. So, I know that Anderson. I'm really proud that Anderson got involved, but I think that was probably really good for you as well. You know, personally.
Oh, dude, yeah. It was an emotional event to be at, man, because you got to hear some of the guys that went through the treatment and how it's changed their lives and stuff, man. So they're doing great things out there. If you get a chance out in the audience later on, check out Texas Valor Project, and if anything, just give them a follow or whatever you can, and
tell them Kyle sent you from Anderson.
They're doing great things out there. And then Saturday, got to go into Irving, Texas.
Texas.
Got me saying Irvine now.
Yeah, he's an idiot. He's a ginger.
But I got to hang out with John's people out there, support the GOA on their.
I thought you meant gingers. I was like, why would you go to a ginger convention?
No, heck no. You'll never find me in one of those. But
that's a soulless place right there.
Yeah. Got to be a part of the Texas 2A bus tour out there. And let's see. And Sunday, tried to go hog hunting with my good friend Eagle Run 23. He stops in the chat every once in a while.
Yeah, he does.
And we didn't see a hog, but we seen some beautiful
Eagle Run's the one who's doing all the 8.6 content, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I've got to reach out to him because you guys got me interested in that 8.6. So I've got to reach out to him and kind of see what the dealio is on that.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that stuff down to a science.
You also we were talking pre-show, you got to shoot a pretty cool little cartridge that I never even heard of before.
I'd never heard of it either till, again, Eagle Run 23, he introduced me, the 338 Spectre. And very heavy round and very quiet suppressed. So
packs a punch, though, I guarantee it.
Oh, yeah, it was gonging that steel. It was a deep gong, too.
That's what she said.
So
more importantly, you happened to pick the one weekend to be in Texas that Clover was gone. So congrats.
I know, right?
I know that you were hoping that was the case, but
it was strategically planned.
Yes, it was. Well, thanks for coming on, bro. I appreciate you. You and I, near and dear to our hearts, I lost a childhood hero of mine yesterday. Everyone knows me well, knows that I'm a huge Cincinnati Reds fan, and my hero, I wore 14 my whole life, Pete Rose passed away yesterday, along with, Chris Christopherson died, Matumbo died over the weekend. It was a pretty bad weekend, but Pete Rose died. So rest in peace to my hero. He is up there. He is in Heaven's Hall of Fame for damn sure. And I will put it to you this way. It's going to happen, but if it happens quickly, I will never respect the Hall of Fame if they put him in now and waited till he passed, because that's dirty pool right there. But the greatest hitter of all time. I don't care what anybody says.
Yep.
The greatest hitter of all time. But anyways, yeah. Standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. Such a fine sight to see. It's a ginger, my lord, and a Camino. Standing around taking a look at everything. Oh, look at him. He's just smiling. From the Gunners of America and Fully Loaded Reviews, we have John, the ginger soulless bastard. What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? Tuesday.
Not much. Just got home from TriggerCon and had a blast there. Won myself a VP9 OR over the weekend, which was fantastic.
Yeah, you did.
Raised a bunch of money. Hey, we raised a bunch of money for vets at TriggerCon too at the dinner, so it was great. I think final numbers were somewhere upwards of like $31,000 for that.
Oh, that's wow. That's great. Fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then we raised at the GOA dinner over the weekend. We raised $31,000 on the Hand of God that was on live auction. So
yeah, that's pretty awesome. 31 grand. That's pretty cool, man. On that one item, that's really good.
So thank you to whoever bid on that.
I was going to ask you, do you know who got that or no?
I have no idea. I haven't even looked at the bid history yet, but whoever got it, thank you. We also have another.
I was just going to say it was some guy from Gunbroker. That's all I know. They called to see if anybody wanted to raise it live, and they're like, I don't think anyone's beating that. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then we got
so what you're saying is we're going to Gunbroker next week for $35,000. Go ahead, Ginger. My bad.
So we've got
interrupt the soulless one.
No, you're good. We got another auction coming up with Arsenal, which will be super exciting. So once I have all the details on that, I'll make an announcement. But we've got that coming up. We've got IV88 range day this weekend in the rain in Georgia with Cal. Hopefully we don't get chlorine gassed and poured on.
Gas. Kyle knows.
And then for Fully Loaded Review, I picked up some Rock Island Armory stuff for the channel. So I got the new DY9 and the, I don't know what the other one. It looks like a Beretta.
One's a Glock clone, they got like a DIY 9. You got to assemble it yourself or something. That's pretty shitty.
I mean,
it is Rock Island.
It is Rock Island. You never know. So I got that, and then 22 TCM as well, and coming in for review that should be picked up Thursday, and then some super secret stuff that I can't talk about just yet. So
then quit mentioning like you want it so bad to say.
I so bad want to say what it is because it's so freaking cool. But yeah, a ton of stuff going on at FLR. We launched our video last week on the a short, as you would put it, on the Arex Delta.
About 20 minutes. It was great.
Yeah, it was short. It was fantastic.
Actually, about 27 minutes, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then we're just going into. I got IV88, and then we're getting ready to make our announcement on goals. We had a phone call earlier today about that, but
yeah, we did.
Hopefully,
I'm excited. I'm actually really excited about that. I really am. The more I think about it, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. So we'll be making an announcement on goals here shortly, and we'll see how that goes. So super pumped for everything, and we'll go from there.
Hell yeah. From the weirdest state in the union, the only state that has 4 letters and takes 2 relatively intelligent people to spell it out. We'll just call it that. Wearing his own merch. Look at him. He's donning a sweet ass hat from the 740. We have Chris. What up, homie?
Oh, not much.
I'm gonna put that hat on. That's a sweet hat. Is that on a website for anyone to buy, or is that just for you?
Not yet. I'm still working through the kinks with that one. So
Yeah, that's pretty
hopefully
sweet.
we're getting
I'm not gonna
close.
lie. How you been doing? Everything good?
Yeah, it's been great. Had a great time over the weekend. Matt flew in. RTT Guns and Gear flew in from
There you go.
Arizona. And Fluffy, 10mm Jeep guy, drove down from Michigan. We got together on Friday, and we did a video filming a review for Ammo Inc. So thanks to Kyle for that hookup there. But Jeremy brought down the 30 cal cans, and we shot everything suppressed, and it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. We all went out to late lunch, early dinner afterwards, sat around for a few hours, and it was a good time. So, yeah, that's what I got going on.
That's awesome. I don't want to bring another Debbie Downer, but Sykes says it's been a rough week. Stepdad died. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. You need anything, let us know. You got a lot of people out here helping out, and we want to support you any way we can. More importantly, just know that probably in a better place right now. So hang in there, buddy. From the great state of Texas, the gatekeeper that all Texas pride must go through, and other pride if you want to go that way, the true rainbow warrior himself. What's up, Clove? How you doing, man?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Of course not. And you want to be my latex salesman, you know. You were at TriggerCon this weekend. How was it, man?
I was at TriggerCon. You know, like most shows, and I didn't even think about this until you went live. I'm like, he's going to ask about TriggerCon.
Of course I am.
And it dawns on me. It's like every fucking show we go to, we're skeptical going into it, right? We're always like, I don't know about this. I don't know. It usually ends up better than we thought. And yeah, it was better than I thought. It was
good.
More floor show, more public attendance on the public day on Saturday. It was more people at the range day. There was more exhibitors there. It's laid out better. It's in a better location.
Yeah,
a lot of pluses to it, I think.
Now, aside from obviously the Taurus being like the best thing there,
it wasn't there. Taurus wasn't there.
I thought it was they weren't there. Okay, so y'all wasn't. No. What was? I was going to make a joke about the Taurus octagonal
you
cyber.
Certainly make a joke about the damn thing because it's ugly.
I figured they were there. If they announced it last week, I figured they were there to show it off or something. But
no, that was.
What was the best thing? I'll ask John the same thing. But what was kind of the coolest thing you saw?
The coolest thing I saw. Okay, so you know how people promise stuff, companies promise shit, right? And you they go, oh, this particular thing does X, Y, and Z, and they hype it all up, and
sure,
then you get to range day, you actually get to experience it, and you're like, did that work? Like, was that? I don't know. Did it do what they said? Rifle Speed has their adjustable gas blocks. And so quick adjust. They're pretty badass. And so anyway, I'd seen them at GunCon, and of course they, I talked to them, and they gave their spiel again, and I looked at them, but they was actually at range day. I didn't get to shoot them at range day at GunCon for some reason or another. But shot them at range day, made a point to do that, and 5 rounds. By the way, it's in the range day montage video that dropped yesterday. But 5 rounds, and then he reached up because he had a glove on, and obviously the barrel was hot at being range day, and he adjusted the gas on it, and then shot 5 more rounds, and amazing the difference. Like, it was one of the things where like, this shit actually works. Like, as advertised, no bullshit. Their stuff's legit, man. So I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
So if you're looking to get something maybe suppressed, that might be a gas block you want to look at too. I've heard of them. I have never seen them or shot them, obviously. I've probably heard of them from you, I guess. I don't know, but
I am not, for anybody that's listened to me talk for any length of time, I am not. I've got a very hate relationship when it comes to adjustable gas blocks. You know, the kind that screw in and out, and there's all kind. Just I've never in all my years seen one that just has worked right or has impressed me.
Sure,
that has changed now. The stuff from Rifle Speed, it's legit, man.
Nice. Ginger, do you remember what was the coolest thing you guys got to see? I don't know. You might have been working the booth, but I'm sure you got to walk around a little bit.
No, I got to walk around. So our good friend who was at Savior is now at Shiloh Tech Lewis. He turned me on to them, and I got to go shoot their stuff. Their stuff was really great, all for the P365. That was fantastic on how you could basically Lego assemble a P365 on what trigger guard you wanted, what length you wanted. It's all in pieces and puts together. That was pretty cool. Got to shoot the new. I'm a big fan of the CZ PO9. They have their new PO9, whatever they're calling it. That was pretty cool.
Nocturne.
Shoot.
The Nocturne.
Is that the one, Clover, you were talking about that was really good as well? Okay.
Yeah. That Nocturne is nice for sure.
It's super nice. And then I shot the Largo Alien for the first time.
Oh yeah, and
dude, it's a whole. I turned to the guy. I shot 10 rounds through it. I turned to the guy and I was like, "Did I even shoot this thing? There's no recoil impulse. It doesn't feel like you shot it. It's ridiculous." Now it's also six G's, so it's expensive to all get out, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I think that was the only thing. Oh, and I got to shoot the Monolith for the first time.
And
oh yeah,
that was yeah, it's nice. Yeah, got to shoot the Monolith. That was really nice.
So shout out to Global.
Global won. It looked great at SHOT Show, but obviously they didn't have it at range day. So
shout out to Global, our friends at Global. They did win the Golden Trigger Award for that rifle.
Did they really? Good for them.
Yeah, and absolutely deservedly so, because that.
Now, is that the same one, Claude, that we saw at SHOT, or was that a different one? It was the same prototype, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, it was phenomenal to hold it and looking at it. I to shoot it would be great.
Were there other rifles there at that show? Yes. Were there more expensive rifles there at that show? Yes.
Well,
but
Daniel was
without
there,
a doubt, especially after shooting it on range day, with the innovation in that rifle, with the what do you call it, like the realized or whatever you want to call it once you shoot it, they chose the right rifle for the Golden Trigger Award for sure.
Yeah, I don't think Bursa was there, were they? Bursa wasn't there, were they? Yeah, there you go.
But the Bursa 1911s are sweet. They're made in the U.S., by the way, with in Georgia, so by a great company. I can't tell you that much.
Yeah.
That and the
go ahead.
The Strybog 45 was pretty dope too.
Strybog anything's pretty dope. Let's just be
the Strybogs are just cool in any caliber.
They really are. They are. My favorite's a 10. Shooting a Strybog at 10, it's just a blast to shoot.
See, I like my 22.
Yeah.
Speaking of 1911s, I totally forgot about them. I went and shot the Riskanese for the first time.
Oh yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
they're
pretty good.
Yeah, the Gen 2s, I love the grip texture and all they've got going, and all the texturing on the slide on the Gen 2s, phenomenal. And I had a talk with for those out there that are not familiar with the Riskanese, you need to be. And the reason you do is I'm telling you, you've got legit Wilson Combat Nighthawk quality,
absolutely,
at a price point in between the cheapy 1911s and that, so at a mid-tier price point.
You're definitely getting a power punch for the price.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, they really are. I was going to ask something. I don't remember. I'm not very smart, so I'm sure it'll come back to me. I don't remember.
We got pony poles though. We can get back to this.
We do. We got to do the pony polls. So you guys know that every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday at 10 a.m. over in our YouTube community tab, we have the pony polls. The pony polls. So we have fun with those, and let's check out this week's. First one went out yesterday. It's got over 1,000 votes. All right, boys. Talking going to movie theater. Not at home when you have access, but going to a theater. When you go to a theater, what's your favorite movie snack of these? You got Milk Duds, nachos, popcorn, or Twizzlers. Kyle, what's your go-to of those four? What's your go-to theater snack?
I would say nachos.
Nachos. Now, are you a jalapeno in your nachos or just a straight cheese?
Yeah, jalapenos, extra jalapenos if you got it.
Oh yeah, okay. You like it spicy.
But around here in Kentucky at the theaters, we got these things called cookie dough bites.
Oh, those are pretty damn good.
For the record, that's where I'm at. And anybody that says Milk Duds is a demented son of a gun. I'm just saying.
Milk Dud, I like me some Milk Duds. I'm not gonna lie. I like Whoppers too. Whoppers are pretty good.
You like shit stuck in your teeth, huh?
Yeah.
I like shit in general. I didn't mean to say that out loud. Yeah. I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat shit for breakfast? I actually, my go-to is probably like Sour Patch Kids. I love me some Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, yeah. I'm a sucker for them Sour Patches.
You get like a couple Sour Patch Kids and a couple pieces of popcorn together. It sounds disgusting.
What?
But you're oh yeah, I'm telling you. You get that sweet and sour with the salty butter. Oh, it's a good bite, man. I'm just telling you. It's a pretty good bite.
The daughter and the wife like to put M&Ms in their popcorn.
My wife does. So my wife every Christmas for our friends around here makes her own trail mix, right? We call it Chex Mix. So she gets a couple like the rice and different kind of Chex cereal, and she'll throw in pretzels. She'll throw in M&Ms, and something else I can't remember. And then she throws in like ranch seasoning in that and bakes it. Oh, what? Telling you. Ranch. Oh, you get that ranch, that salty from the butter and the sweetness from the M&Ms all in one bite. I'm telling you, bro.
That sounds good.
It's really good. It's really, really good. Ginger, what about you? Milk Duds, nachos, popcorn, or Twizzlers?
I am a popcorn, but I second the Milk Duds.
Popcorn guy.
Yeah, but I throw the Milk Duds in the popcorn.
I don't think Milk Duds get as much love as they should, you know. Chloe, what about you? When you go to the movies, what are you sneaking into the theater?
Sneaking in? Well,
that's what we do now. Okay. We go to Dollar General, load up on candy and bring it in. That's what we do now.
So I can answer this. So off of the list, popcorn, like no doubt.
Okay,
and you gotta, boy, depending on how busy it is, the clerk people they hate me because I want to do my butter in stages. So it's like only fill up a third of the bag. I go get butter, go back. They do the next third. I get butter. They go back. They top it off. I go get butter.
So you're that guy.
I want butter all the way down. I want my bag. I want to have to put paper towels under my bag to keep from like the butter seeping out of it. Right. Anyway, so to answer your sneaking in question. So one thing I love in my popcorn is those Reese's peanut butter cup minis.
Oh yeah, interesting.
But if they have
like Reese's Pieces, but not like the actual cups.
Yeah, no, the actual minis. Yeah, and so here's the thing: they're super expensive at the theater. For the DVD bag is like $5, but you can get the big huge bag at Walmart for like the same amount of money. So we sneak in the big huge bag. Of course, we buy the popcorn and the drinks at the theater. But yeah, popcorn with Reese's minis. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to try that. Let's hear you guys out in the chat. What you guys, Milk Duds, nachos, popcorn, or Twizzlers? Chris, what about you? Which one are you going to have to go with?
I love popcorn at the movies.
My wife always gets the popcorn, and I usually either get Twizzlers, the Milk Duds, or the if they have them, I'll go with the Sour Patch Kids. But she always gets the big old thing of popcorn, so we're kind of sharing that. I'd say another one that I used to love as a kid is Junior Mints. You guys remember Junior Mints? Love me some Junior Mints too. I haven't tried those with popcorn. I don't know if that'd be good or not. But I like
Junior Mints are fire.
Yeah, man, they're pretty good. 1,000 votes, 66%. Kind of, I figured it would win. I didn't think it would be this bad. The surprise is fourth place, which has surprised me. But in first place with 66% is popcorn. Nachos at 17%. Milk Duds with 11%. And this is kind of a surprise to me. Twizzlers only got 6%. I was kind of surprised at that. I'm a Twizzler guy. I'm more of a Red Vine guy, but I will eat Twizzlers if I have to. But
well, that's what I was going to say. The movie theaters, they're so it's so hit or miss. Like which ones they carry. Some have Twizzlers, some have Red Vines, and some have Sweet Tart Ropes.
Yeah, Sweet Tart Ropes aren't bad. If they have Red Vines, see, my local theater here it's a one screen theater. They carry Twizzlers. If they had Red Vines, now that's a whole different answer at that point.
Yeah,
I love me some Red Vines. You know
that's not a standard. We need to petition it be a standard, man.
I agree. I think that Red Vine should be the official movie theater licorice at this point. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
I would agree with
that. Next one, we're going to still on our Guitar Hero bracket. This is going to be the number 2 seed versus the number 7 seed. These are not my seedings because I would not have these seeds the same. This is one of like the guitar websites. I'm not sure if it was Guitar or whatever. It was one of the guitar. They had listed their top whatever. So I'm going with this. So let me know who wins this out there in the chat as well. The number 2 seed is Eric Clapton. The number 7 seed is David Gilmour of Pink Floyd. I would not go with that, but okay. Who wins? This is in the bracket. Ginger, we'll start with you. Clapton or Gilmour?
Clapton.
Bastard. All right. I love Eric Clapton. I think he's a phenomenal guitar player. I love the fact that there's very little ego with him, but I just technically, man, I don't know, man. He's smooth, slow hands good, but I would not put him as a number 2 of all time. That's just me. Anyways, Clove, what about you? Clapton or Gilmour?
I would agree that on that list, I don't believe Clapton is number 2 of all time.
Yeah.
However,
you think he's better than Gilmour?
I'm gonna go Clapton over Gilmour. Yeah.
Wow. The greatest guitar solo in the history of music, voted on by Rolling Stone. Comfortably Numb by David Gilmour. He's getting his ass beat so far. All right. Chris, what about you? Clapton or Gilmour?
I'll save you, Ghost. I'm going with Gilmour.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much.
Somebody,
I think that's a pity vote, but I'll take it.
No, I respect Clapton and all. I never was a fan. Never was a fan.
I like his music. I just don't think I tell you who got shafted in this is Stevie Ray Vaughan did not make their top like 10.
That's terrible.
Which is, I think, is absolutely asinine.
Hashtag not my list.
Right. How does Stevie Ray Vaughan not make a top 10 guitar players ever? I'm just saying. You're telling me that Clapton's the number 2 over Stevie Ray Vaughan? Doesn't even make the list? Come on. Anyways, I appreciate the pity vote, Chris. I do. I really appreciate that. Kyle, what about you? Clapton or Gilmour, man?
These gentlemen are a little before my time, but I'm going to say Clapton because that's who I'm familiar with.
I hear you.
Not that I'm not familiar with Pink Floyd. I don't know. I'm not in the music as much as you, though. So
I know. I mean, like I said, I love Clapton. I like Clapton's music. I think he was a great songwriter. He was a better songwriter than people gave him credit for. And he's a phenomenal guitar player. But come on. Anyways, obviously my vote is David Gilmour. My top 3 favorite guitar players ever are Slash, David Gilmour, and Tom Morello from what was formerly known as Rage Against the Machine and an Audio Slave. Then I probably had to go Prince as my number 4. And then I tell you what, there's a sleeper out there, not a sleeper, but there's I'm not going to go down this list, but that's just mine. But yeah, Gilmour is definitely one of my all-time favorites.
Santana coming up a lot out there in the chat.
Santana, I tell you, I think technically he's one of those guys who was a technically great guitar player, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't have like the greatest solo, songs, but was technically a phenomenal guitar player.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I would agree. Santana, he didn't make the list either, by the way. So
I just have a thing for Floyd because I actually got I got tickets to see him at the Shoe in '94. So that was
you went.
that
Oh,
was still one of my favorite concerts I ever went to.
That Pulse tour. I was obviously not in the country in '94, so I didn't get a chance. But to this day, I've been to, I don't even know how countless like laser light shows of Floyd, obviously, but I would have given my left nut probably to be at the Pulse tour in '94. That would have been fantastic. Yeah, I'm glad you got to see him, asshole. 73% say Clapton, 27% say Gilmore, and I would say that you're all 73% of you are wrong. 73% are wrong. It is David Gilmour, but Gilmour is eliminated in this bracket, so it is what it is. No, they're all great. It's just, this is kind of fun, but I was shocked at how many people still say that Clapton is number 1 or 2. I still put him at 1 ahead of Jimi Hendrix and Jeff Beck, and I mean, I don't know, whatever. Clapton wins. We'll be all right. All right, going to the concealed carry. He's got 1.8 thousand votes. For you guys, we're talking about carrying now. For concealed carry, which is more important to you, capacity or comfort? Clove, we'll start with you. Capacity or comfort? What's more important?
Comfort.
Carrying?
Yeah,
comfort. Yeah.
Yeah.
Christopher.
Definitely comfort.
Comfort. Yeah. Kyle.
I'm going comfort as well.
Yep, that's a popular thought. Ginger.
I don't want to be the weird guy, but I'm also going comfort. I was going to say capacity, but capacity and comfort are the same. Go hand in hand if I'm comfortable with the capacity.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't. So if it holds,
capacity of comfort.
No. You're telling me that a 17+1 for me, double stack 1911 is more comfortable than a single stack 360 or a shield, or even a double stack 365 or a 42 or a 43 size gun. Maybe for you, but
Ginger's overthinking shit.
If it's comfortable, I'm overthinking. I'm going comfort.
No, you pussy. At least be, at least if you're gonna say capacity, then go with capacity and own it.
Right.
We're gonna dog you on it regardless. You might as well
that guy. Be that guy.
Have a backbone. We know that gingers don't have souls, but I thought they had backbones. I may be wrong about that.
Apparently not. Apparently the soul's connected to the backbone or something.
So once I went to the fanny pack is comfortable, so then it's capacity.
That's not the question. The question is about the handgun, not how you carry the handgun. Jackass.
Yeah.
Answer the question.
Yeah. So, comfort, 1.8 thousand votes is pretty simple. 78% said comfort, 22% said capacity. I think that's probably right. I mean,
I was worried about that one, but yeah.
I was too. That's why I put that there, because I know there's a lot of people, especially after like last week's show, a lot of comments were about how many extra mags. So, there's a lot of people talking like capacity. I was like, well, maybe I'm the odd one that thinks that comfort is more important, because for me, if it's not comfortable, then I'm not going to carry it. Right.
Right.
But I mean, after the last couple of weeks, everyone's like, how many extra mags you carrying and all this? I'm like, whoa, like, holy shit. Like, are we talking capacity? I was surprised at the capacity conversation. That's why I put this out there. But yeah.
A lot of people carry the extra mag for malfunction reasons rather than capacity, though, too.
Maybe that's true as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So
what were you saying, Ginger?
It's funny we're talking about comfort and capacity. So I think it's a good segue to bring up this new Taurus ugly monstrosity, because they're marketing
the Cybertruck,
as
you call it. Would you say it's a muzzle loader meets a Cybertruck?
It's a muzzle loader that had sex with a Cybertruck, and here comes a gun.
And that's the love child
to it.
Yeah, I'll bring
the link to it in the private chat.
Yeah, I'll bring it up here real quick. And
it looks neither like it has the capacity nor is it comfortable. So yeah,
it's just ugly. When I saw the release on, I was like, what the hell,
It is super ugly, but this is the reason why I say this is because of their marketing in the little blurb they put out. So this is the muzzleloader has sex with the Cybertruck, and tell me I'm wrong.
There it is, boys and girls.
You've got an octagonal barrel, and it looks like a Cybertruck. It is definitely, and they cheaped out. So my thing is, this is $333 MSRP, which who knows what the street price will be.
That's a hexagonal barrel, I think, not an octagonal. So they didn't even get that right. Isn't it? Count the sides.
1, 2, 3. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What the hell's a 7?
Is it 7? 1, 2, 3, 4. Or is it 5? Or is it pentagon?
Wait, it might be 8. Hold on. It's 1, 2.
8.
It is 8. It is 8. So it is octagonal.
Is it 8? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that picture, I see 8.
So that's the cheapest way to make a barrel, because all you got to do is run a pass by with the tool to make that barrel design. It's polymer. The side is just god awful ugly. It's literally it's an ugly gun. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, so this is where their marketing comes in. The last line is what really gets me. Go up right there. The 22
you carry beats the 45 you. I'm going to take my knife over that thing, I think. That's just me, though.
So,
man, that's just weird. It's just weird.
So
what was I know that when Beretta came out with all their Wildcat guns back in the day, which one was the 22 that they're going after? Was it
this would be
the Bobcat? Was it the Bobcat?
This is the Bobcat. Oh no, the Bobcat or the
Tomcat? Not the Cheetah.
I think the Tomcat is
the Tomcat, maybe.
Tomcat's
Bobcat's the 22.
Yeah,
the Bobcat. I couldn't remember who it was. I thought it was a Bobcat, but I couldn't remember. But yeah, that's just a weird. And you're right. It does. I mean, when you said the muzzleloader has sex with a Cybertruck, like that's actually kind of right.
Like what in the space age alien is happening here?
I don't know.
Now I would carry it. Now I would carry it over a sharp stick. I'm not that naive.
Depends on how sharp the stick is.
But here's the thing. That's a high point argument. Better than a sharp stick, right? Like, and the high point looks better than that. So, yeah.
See, I obviously I'm not going to say that it's a beautiful gun, but I don't mind the design of the high point. Like, there's something about the high point that's actually kind of a good looking gun.
Well, the high point is
shit, but you know.
Yeah, the high point is also designed for manufacturing purpose to be quick and cheap and cost effective and all of that too, right? There's a reasoning behind that design. It's not, but what gets me about the whole Taurus thing there is, why did they just build the standard PT-22 that looks just like the Bobcat? Like, it's good enough for Beretta. Like, why do they got to jack it all up, make it all dumb looking? It makes no sense to me at all.
Well,
okay, yeah, obviously the Tomcat was the 32. Okay, that's right. This
thing's probably got like a 9-pound trigger. Like, why would I choose this over the new Bodyguard or even the LCP Max or whatever the Ruger's called,
or the
little
MC-14
or the MC-14
380
in 380.
Well, I'm thinking more of like a pocket gun. That's a little big for a pocket gun.
So I'm thinking like the Burst of Thunder is a much better gun than that. I guarantee you.
The Thunder is not much bigger.
That's what I'm saying. That I would go the Thunder over that.
The Thunder, and I'm talking the Thunder 22 is not.
I never shot the Thunder 22, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's not much bigger.
The 380,
but you do have the tip up, so you don't have to rack. You know that's gonna come into play. But you know, why not do it in a 25 or a 32 if you're gonna do that? You know, why in a 22? That don't make any sense either.
I don't know.
My other thing is that. Okay,
sometimes, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll forget this. But we were talking about this yesterday, John. When we talked on the phone, and we said the same thing to Clover last night. We were talking about the same gun. Innovation for the sake of innovation doesn't always need to happen, right?
Yeah.
To do something different, just to do something different, doesn't mean it's a good idea.
Okay, I just had a novel idea, and Taurus missed the boat on this, right? Okay, that design. Think of all the like you was talking, the Wildcat guns from Beretta, right?
Yep.
That in 30 super carry.
I'm still not sold on 30 super. I don't have near the experience that most of you guys do. I mean, I've shot like a mag full of, which is maybe like 5 or 6 rounds.
Well,
of
I'm just
30
saying,
super.
you're going
Now,
32 caliber. You're, you know what I mean? You're actually making it something at that point. It's a tip barrel
yeah,
in a new fad caliber that may or may not end up catching on, but either way,
Yeah.
right? So you kind of catch the hype around 30 super carry. Plus you've got
Yep.
the tip up barrel. Like it just it checks.
Are you saying why didn't Taurus go with 30 super
Yeah, I'm
carry?
talking about
That's
from
a
like
great idea. Absolutely.
From like a
They
marketing
should have.
taking advantage standpoint is what I'm talking
Absolutely.
about. Like why
No,
not?
I get that point. Absolutely.
They didn't do 30 super carry because they have their own Wildcat cartridge. It's called 38 TP.
Well, then they should have done it in 38 TP.
They should have done it in 38 TP then.
Yeah.
I mean, 22 has been there, done that. And, you know, if you're going to do that kind of design, like an out of left field design, do an out of left field caliber with it. You know what I'm saying? That's my idea.
With the spectrum, with the spectrum and the curve, are we at all surprised here, gentlemen?
No. I'm not surprised, but I understand. Well, I don't really understand. I see where they're trying to go, but like I said, doing something outside the box for the sake of doing outside the box. If you're going to go outside the box, then let's just go full speed outside the box.
Yeah, kind of like $900 lever actions.
There you go.
Right. I mean, I don't know what Taurus is doing lately. I don't
know either. I don't know.
They're coming up with their own calibers and cartridges. They're got high price lever actions. It's like, what the heck, Taurus? Come on.
Yep.
Here's my thing with Taurus. All right. They hit a home run with the GX4. They hit a home run with the GX3 and all that.
Yep. The GX3 saved them, you know.
But then they got rid of the people who designed it.
Well, did they get rid of them or did they leave? Well, there's a difference.
You're right.
I'm just
guessing
saying.
that I don't know. I haven't talked in depth with the person who left yet about why they left. But you got the person who's doing their marketing is not loved by many. And now this comes out, and they're also marketing this. This is a single stack 22, 9 rounds of 22. They're marketing this as a micro compact. This is not a micro compact. I don't know if there's a definition for micro compact, but this does not meet the definition of a micro compact.
I think that when I think micro compact, I'm thinking LCP. I'm thinking the original Bodyguard. I'm thinking Glock 42, right? The pocket, like the literal pocket guns, right? The Bursas I think that people are now just throwing terminology around to whatever they feel like they want. If they just want to say they have a micro compact, it probably isn't. But they're going to call it a micro compact. Now we're in. I mean, the dimensions for me, when I think micro compact, it's the old Bodyguard, it's the LCP, like the pocket 380s. That's what I think of micro compact when I think about it.
I'm going to argue with you on that because I think micro compact is anything small framed, double stack, under an inch in width. I think double stack when I think micro compact because I think like the 365, the Shield Plus, the
365 is not a micro compact. That's a compact.
Yeah,
it's
a subcompact. That's a subcompact, not a micro compact.
Yeah.
That's a subcompact.
Micro compact
is a pocket gun.
I'm thinking micro compact. I'm thinking Baby Browning. I'm thinking Colt Pocket.
There you go.
I'm thinking maybe Colt Mustang. And that might even be a little big. I'm thinking smaller than even LCP.
You wouldn't put those in single stack? Because
it's a micro compact though. It doesn't to me, whether it's single or double makes no difference. It's the size, right?
Yeah.
For me. I'm not saying you can think of whatever the hell you want to think of it. Yeah. For me, like a 365 and a Shield, those are subcompacts. Like a compact 9mm, subcompact 365 Shield, micro compact LCP Bodyguard. That's just me though. That's me. That's how I've always kind of gauged it. Once again, now here's the thing. the terminology is just being thrown around. Like people can call it whatever the hell they want to call it. If you want to consider a 365 a micro compact, then what would you call? And I'm not trying to be a smart ass, John.
Yeah, no.
If a 365 is a micro compact in your eyes, what do you call an LCP size gun?
Single stack, micro single stack.
Okay, a shield is single stack, but it's not micro.
Well, that's just a single stack.
But if you're saying a single stack has to be, when you say single stack, that's capacity. That has nothing to do with size, because a shield and an LCP are both single stack. They're just two different size guns.
I see what you're saying.
A freaking 1911 is single stack. That's not micro.
That's a full size single stack.
No. But you just said the criteria for a micro is single stack. So is all single stacks micros?
No, my criteria for a micro is double stack in a small frame, which would be considered like a pocket gun frame. Like the 365 is considered a pocket gun frame.
I wouldn't consider a 365 pocket gun. That's just me personally. But,
right.
But I have smaller pockets, I'm a wee little child. So
because all the terminology, and this is what gets me, and you're right. The terminology gets thrown around, and somebody brought up the Glock 26. That was subcompact for the longest time, right?
Still is in my eyes. It's still a subcompact,
right?
Yeah.
But when the 365 came out, because it's smaller than a subcompact, which was then the threshold for a subcompact was a 26, they called it a micro compact. So that's what
maybe SIG called it a micro compact, but I don't know. G23 says that SIG still calls a 365 a compact. I don't think it's a compact. I think it's a subcompact. That's my Chris, Kyle, Clover, feel like joining in. This is a great conversation, but
I think there's compact, and I think everything else is subjective according to the person or the fucking people.
I'll take that answer.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah,
they add the front part or the ladder part, whether that be micro or sub or whatever, willy nilly. I think you got full size and you got compact at the end of the day.
Yep. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Full size. I would say I'm okay with 3. Right. Like I would say full size, compact, or subcompact. Right.
Like 4-inch barrel or larger, full size. 4-inch barrel or smaller, compact. And then anything, however you want to break up compact, like it's
there you go. I'm okay with that. I'd be okay with that. And then whatever you want to call it. Speaking of SIG, real quick, right before I came into the pre-show, talking to a buddy of mine, a company out in Georgia, and he kind of got his thing from NSSF, and they have him next to the SIG booth. And I was like, SIG's not at SHOT. It hadn't been there for 4 years. Has anyone heard that he's like, they said that we're across the aisle from SIG. Is SIG coming back to SHOT? I haven't heard anything, but I didn't know if anyone's heard that or not. I hope they do, just because that's a big company to have back at SHOT,
Well, I haven't heard of them, but I heard of 2 other. I heard Radian and Daniel are pulling out of SHOT this year, but with no confirmation. I heard from Radian did confirm, but no confirmation from Daniel on if they're not going or not. So it would be weird for SIG to come back, but at the same time, but I did hear. No, we did. We talked to Kat. Clover was there. SIG is coming back, but it's not SIG themselves. It's SIG
USA
LEO.
Or whatever they call it. Oh, SIG LEO. Okay.
No, it's their LEO division. They're going to be right near Global in Caesars, is what my understanding
well, he's right across the aisle from what they said SIG. But SIG,
you know if he's in Caesars?
He is in Caesars, yeah.
Maybe.
He was in Caesars last year, but they're upgrading from a 10 by 10 to a 10 by 20. And they said that they're right across the aisle from SIG. And I was like, okay, whatever. I just thought that just hit my mind when you guys were talking SIG. It just
it's something like SIG LEO or SIG law enforcement.
If SIG wants to come back, just sponsor their booth and just put the sofas and tables again. Have the SIG lounge. That was the best thing that SIG ever did, was have the SIG lounge that one year.
Oh, dude, that year all the big companies, SIG, Ruger, all of them had their lounges. It was amazing.
It was fantastic. That was a great thing.
It was places to sit down, places to do interviews, places to have conversations.
It was awesome. It was fantastic. Fell asleep in one of them, by the way. No. Real quick, I do want to mention this before we go into the topic. Speaking of SHOT Show, if you guys have heard about it for months, it's in the pinned comment there in the chat if you're in the live chat. But if you guys are content creators or wanting to do content, thinking about doing content, or if you're a content creator that hasn't been approved, not been able to go to SHOT Show, we've been talking about it for a few months. The video dropped yesterday. We're giving away a chance to go to SHOT with us. And I'm going to get you into range day. I'll get you into SHOT. I'm going to try to get you into maybe some after hours events. Those are sometimes tough, but maybe we can sneak in a couple of them. I'm not going to pay. No offense, guys. I'm poor. I'm not going to pay for your trip, your housing, your food, any of that. I might buy you dinner or something one night. But I will get you into range day. I will get you into SHOT. I'll introduce you to some folks in the industry. You'll get to meet some of the content creators. You'll get to meet some of the industry guys. We will do that. We'll help you out in any way we can. But if you want to learn how to win that, go check out our video. It's pinned up there in the comment in the chat. If you're watching this in replay or listening in podcast form, go check out our YouTube channel. And there's a video out there. It tells you exactly what you've got to do. You've got till the 21st, which is 3 weeks from yesterday, to do what you got to do. You have to create your own video, and you have to post it either on YouTube or Instagram or X or all of them. Tag me. There's a specific hashtag that I'm following, and then we'll pick the winner on the 22nd, 3 weeks from tonight. On the show, we'll announce the winner. Now, here's the thing. 2 stipulations. One, this is not a chance to go and take selfies with everyone. Are you going to get a chance to do that? Absolutely. But I'm looking for someone that wants to go and work. I want someone that's trying to build their channel that never had the opportunity to go to SHOT. I want someone that's going to work hard. And if you want content, you're going to get all the content you want at SHOT Show. I'm looking for someone who's willing to work and someone that I'm okay in introducing to my friends in the industry and all of that. And 2, I forgot what the second one was. I'm not very smart. I have very bad short-term memory.
You were rolling there.
I was rolling, man. I was rolling. I felt good about that.
So if they're worried about food, I hear Jeff is always more than willing to share.
I will introduce you to Jeff. If you don't mind pocket pizza, then you're okay.
Pocket cheese and pocket muffins.
Backpack pizza, pocket muffins, pocket cheese. And if you want to go to the after hour events that have food, follow Jeff. He will know exactly where to go.
PJ, you get plenty to drink with beer, so you're good there too.
Yeah, he'll know where all the booth beer is every day, so you'll be in that. And we always have we've been doing it now for 7-8 years now. We always put together, Clover and I put together a dinner. Usually it's on a Monday night or something like that before SHOT really happens after range day. Last year we had 18 or 20 people.
Oh yeah.
But we always put together our crew, just our friends and our close friends that we care about in the industry and in media, to kind of have that brotherhood and that dinner all together. We find someone that's pretty casual, that's kind of got a mixture of everything, so everyone has a choice of what they want. Like diner type stuff or whatever, but we try to go somewhere that they're not changed. Like you can go anywhere. You got to go to Vegas. We try to get there, the fellowship, get everyone together. Like I said, we had 18 or 20 people there last year, so you'll be invited to that as well. So, but go check that out. Go check that video out. And, like I said, there's instructions on what you got to do. Right. All right. last week, or the last few weeks, we've been talking concealed carry, and this is part of the concealed carry series we're doing. Last week's was a phenomenal conversation. They all been pretty great conversations. There towards the end, one of the topics I want to bring up, we decided that we could have our own show on, and that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about concealed carry items, whether it's accessories or whatever that's non-firearm related. We're talking knives, flashlights, med kits, tourniquets, pepper spray, whatever, all of those things that can help you, whether it's on person, off body, car, some things that I think are essential to kind of be in your EDC loadout, if you will. They don't necessarily have to be on the person, but I think a knife and a flashlight, you can, with the way that knives are, and especially some of the flashlights that we all carry, they're like chapstick size and they're great. But what I want to do real quick is go through the room, and let's not take the time right now to explain why you have certain things that are on your carry loadout. Let's go through the room real quick. And we'll start with Chris on this one. Aside from firearms, are there certain things that you carry, maybe not every day, but the vast majority of days that you're always having with you? And let me know what those are.
I always have a Leatherman on me.
Okay. Multi-tools, great.
On me.
Yep.
And I always got a flashlight.
Okay.
So I'll switch up at work. Like, I got stuff that I really want to beat, stuff that's going to get the shit beat out of it all day. Then
yep.
I carry a Leatherman OHT at work every day, but then I carry a charge like on the weekends and stuff.
Gotcha. Yep. And we'll go into these different ones and talk about which brands and which models that we all carry. But so knife, flashlight, Leatherman, those are kind of the three things that are part of your loadout most days, right?
Every day. I got those three things with me. Yeah.
Gotcha. Kyle, what about you? Aside from the firearm, what else are you kind of making sure is in your loadout every day?
Knife and flashlight every day. Oh,
yep.
And I don't even know if you include this, but a pen. I always have a pen on me.
You know, I never thought about that. But yeah, I mean, it's something that, and we're not talking about defensive items necessarily. It's just things that you're going to have on you every day. That's your loadout, right?
Oh, but a pen can be.
It can be. Ask John Wicks. I mean, that kills people with pencils, right?
Yeah.
And we're not talking wallets. We're talking about wallet, phone, pager, keys. Obviously, those things we're always going to have on. We're talking about the additional items, besides like the wallet, phone, and all that, obviously. But yeah, pen for sure. Especially if you have like a specific type of pen. My favorite pen, and Clover knows this, and most of you guys might notice this. I know Clover's knows this because I'm really OCD about it. But my favorite pen are the ones, I don't know if you guys remember back in high school, that had like the 4 or 5 different colors, like black, red, blue, purple. I love, like, I've always got one of those. Like those, that's my favorite pen. No matter what the situation, I've got a color that can work, right? Now John might take the pen gun, that he's so in love with, so pen, absolutely. I would consider that because it could be something that you need. Ginger, what are some of the items that you're trying to have with you most of the time?
Pocket knife that can be opened one-handed, a flashlight, and that's about it, really.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe sometimes you talk about pen. I do carry a stabby Sharpie with me sometimes too. On top of that, just have a backup implement.
Yep. Clove, what about you? Aside from the gun, you carrying anything kind of most days?
Yeah, I mean, all good suggestions so far that are that make an appearance from time to time from me. Some stuff not mentioned so far, specifically a SWAT T tourniquet, and there was something else. Oh, a cigarette lighter.
I always have a cigarette lighter for obvious reasons, but yeah.
Even if I did not smoke, and you know me, I smoke the pipe. So it's not that important to have a lighter on me at all times because usually I have one in my bag or wherever my pipe stuff's at, right? But there's just something about having that lighter. It can offer light, it can offer heat, it can fire start. You got a bunch of different things you can do with that. In a pinch, I mean, you can, you get a, I know this is superficial, but you get a stringer or a runner in your clothes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Those threads
Absolutely,
that
man.
come loose or do something.
Absolutely.
You can burn that off, you know, see whatever. It's handy.
Yeah, for sure. The reason why we're discussing this, if you're out there and you're kind of getting into maybe the concealed carry world, or the everyday, tonight's not going to necessarily be about concealed carry. It's going to be more like everyday carry, everyday items and all of that. One of the reasons I think this is an important topic is we're not talking necessarily lethal stuff here. We're talking non-lethal stuff, pepper spray. A lot of ladies carry pepper spray in their purse or something like that. Some people carry like a little dagger knife on their keychain. It's really quick deployable and they can walk around. It's not bulky, but a little push dagger, you know, are great ones. But the reason why I think that this is an important conversation is it's not just for like self-defense, right? It's not just for all of that stuff, but like Clover's bringing up, emergency situations or just daily tasks, right? The Leatherman, or the multi-tool, whatever you want to call it. Multi-tool is fantastic. A lighter can do a lot. A pin, a lot of things. Obviously, for me, it's obviously, you know, a flashlight, knife, and all that. I used to carry a tourniquet quite a bit. Now, in my backpack, in every car that I drive, I've got a backpack that's got a med kit, a trauma kit, which there are differences between a med kit and trauma kit. You know, and I've got some cat tourniquets. I've got some rat tourniquets, Israeli bandages, some quick clog, all that kind of stuff. And I hope you never have to use that, but having that available is important. So we're talking about our everyday loadout. It doesn't necessarily have to be on your person, right? It can be in a backpack. What's up?
Something you didn't mention there, but I know that you do too, is paracord bracelet.
I've got one right there. This right here, I have this. Everyone knows I wear this bracelet every day. They're red, white, and blue. There is between the four different cords and colors. I've got 27 feet of paracord available to me, and paracord is real easy. Boom.
Yeah, I've also seen paracord bracelets that have stuff hidden inside the paracord too.
This may or may not have something hidden in it.
Well, that's why I didn't mention specifically anything, but they have stuff hidden inside the paracord. So
absolutely.
So that's a way you can carry and be inconspicuous and, you know, have stuff just in case, you know, too. And they also, if you're carrying your keys anyway, and especially if you've got multiple keys, right? Yeah. Nowadays it's like, a lot of times it's just a fob, you know, you get the one key fob or whatever. But if you're carrying keys, you know, for its work or whatever, they make so many multi-tools and things and flashlights and other things that are shaped like keys.
Yep. 100%.
That, you know, talking about being inconspicuous, and it really doesn't take up any more room or space. You know, you don't got to have a special way to carry it. You're already carrying keys, right? Add 3 keys, you've got a multi-tool flashlight and a knife, or, you know, whatever.
Let me ask you this real quick. Foxtrot brings up something I forgot to mention. So a Swiss Army knife. Now, like Ginger was talking about compact, micro compact, subcompact, the terminology. Let me ask you guys this. When you think of a Swiss Army knife, do you kind of put that into a multi-tool category now, or is a Swiss Army knife on its own, you think?
It's on its own for me, because
it's on its own. What do you guys think?
It typically means it doesn't have pliers of any kind.
Yeah, but I mean, but technically it is a multi-tool, technically speaking, you know, so I didn't know what you guys thought about that.
I'd consider it a multi-tool. But that's
it's the OG multi-tool, right?
And let's be honest, it depends on the Swiss Army knife.
That's true.
There are quote unquote multi-tool knives. When I think Swiss Army knife, I think of the OG that's got like the corkscrew, the can opener, the knife, the scissors, the tweezers,
the 5 or 6, 7 different things, not the 64 thing that's that big.
But
you know?
They're way more advanced nowadays, where there's all kinds of shit on them. So
no, you're right. You're right. When I think Swiss Army knife, I think the OG that's got 5 or 6 different things on there, right? That's what I think of.
Yeah.
But Ginger, Chris, what do you guys think about Swiss Army knives? Is that a multi-tool, or is that on its own?
It's in its own class.
Yep. I agree. Chris, did you say the same thing? You think it's on its own?
Yeah, I kind of put it in its class of its own.
And a Swiss Army knife, the great thing about a Swiss Army knife is it is something that you can carry in your pocket and be about the size of a pack of gum. But it's going to give you a few options, at least. You know, it's going to give you a few different things. Real quick, I want to bring something up that Pat put out there. He says, do you guys purchase med kits pre-packed or pack them yourselves? If so, what do y'all prefer in them? So yes and yes. I've got many pre-packed from several different brands, and we can talk about those brands here in a little bit. But I've also, I tell you what, and this is something that and I've said this for years because I've done it before. My wife has done it before. If you're looking to put together a med kit, right? What I suggest is go around to in your hometown. If you've got 3 or 4 or 5 or 50, whatever it is, if you've got doctors there, right? Doctors' offices, whoever your family physician is, next time you're there, say, hey, doc, I'm thinking about putting together like a med kit for the car or for traveling and all of that. Do you have any extra supplies like Band-Aids, gauze, ibuprofen, all that stuff? They have plenty of samples of different allergy medicine, ibuprofen. God knows they got Band-Aids and gauze out the wazoo. Don't be afraid to ask your local doctor if they've got extra stuff that they could give to you to start your med kit. That's a great way to start a med kit, is just going to your local doctors and asking if they've got extra things. Are they going to carry tourniquets? No. And if they did, they're not going to give them to you probably. But the gauze, the pre-wrap, the Band-Aids, ibuprofen, Tylenol, some kind of allergy medicine, all that stuff, especially the medication, they get samples and samples and samples and samples that are given to them. And they've got plenty of stuff. So like gauze and Band-Aids. So don't be afraid to ask your physician. Say, hey, I'm just getting ready to start a med kit, a first aid kit, a travel kit, whatever you want to call it. And you can go and get it. I tell you, a great thing to do for something like that is what my wife did is she got basically a tackle box, a fishing tackle box.
Lunchbox also works well.
A lunchbox, yeah. But I mean, we got like a tackle box, and you can just put all the big stuff down below and Band-Aids of different sizes and all that stuff and tape and all that. You can set yourself up. Obviously, that's not something you're going to carry in a backpack, but you can keep it in your car. But there are a lot of free ways to get med kit. So I've done it both ways. We've built our own specifically on what we needed it for earlier, and then I've also got a ton of pre-packed bought first aid kits. Kyle, what about you? First aid medical kits, first aid kits, whatever. Are you buying them pre-packed, or are you building your own?
I'm building my own. So I just kind of mimic the Marine Corps Combat Lifesaver kit that I got.
Absolutely.
And I just kind of go off that, but they're pretty expensive when you buy them put together.
They can be.
If you piece it out, I found that it can be more cost effective.
Well, and once again, there are certain aspects of those that you can probably get for free from doctors that then now that cuts your cost where there are items that you're going to have to buy probably.
Yeah.
But now you've saved some money on other stuff. Now you've saved enough maybe to go buy those things, right? Yep. Ginger, what about you?
I've got all pre-packed stuff that I've been given and stuff. The one I like the best that I've gotten given is the one from Dietrich.
Okay. I don't think I've got any of their
Skinny
stuff.
Medic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I trust him. So whatever he put in there.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I really like what some of these companies got going on too. And I can't name it by like company name or anything, but the color codes and stuff like that, like I could see how that'd be super.
Oh, the My Medic stuff. Yeah, they've got and Clover's had them on the podcast. My Medic stuff. I used to for the longest time went North American Rescue, and that's kind of like my go-to for a long time. Was it 2 or 3 years ago when we met My Medic down in the dungeon at SHOT, and they've got, like you said, the different color codes, and that tells you exactly kind of what. Yeah, My Medic has in my opinion, revolutionized medical kits and first aid kits. And if you can afford them, I'm not saying they're crazy expensive, but they're not cheap, but they're well worth it. I'll let Clover talk more, and I'm sure he's going to bring them up. But yeah, My Medic stuff is fantastic. North American Rescue is kind of like the OG. Clover, I'm going to bring you in because I know you want to talk about My Medic because they're fantastic.
Yeah, I'll first say that I'm an all of the above.
Yeah.
with
Okay.
it.
Yeah. I think. Yeah.
So my larger kit for like home range, that type of a
Put
scenario,
together,
is a put together.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because it can have all kinds of stuff. I've even got suture kits and things.
Sure.
Right? Like craziness, like shit hits the fan, world end scenario kits, basically, type stuff. But then when you get down to like travel and then personal, I like pre-pack. For a couple of reasons. My Medic is my go-to, but then Mountain Men Medical's got solid stuff too.
See, Mountain Men's is good stuff. If you're not familiar, that's concealcarry.com's brand, and they're really, really good too. I don't have the experience with them as I do with My Medic and North American as far as using their stuff.
Yeah. Well, the quality I think is pretty close. And I've never used the stuff from Skinny Medic that Ginger was talking about, but I have no doubt his stuff is solid. Like
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's great.
Yeah. But as far as the quality is concerned between My Medic and Mountain Man, I think the quality's there. I think the quality is the same. I know both very well. I know the care they take into sourcing their materials and stuff. The biggest difference for me and why, if I had to choose one, I would probably go with the My Medic is what Kyle mentioned. The organization with the color coding and
awesome.
all the way things are packaged. They're packages inside of packages inside of packages in some cases, depending on what you need to use.
And you can go and buy something that's very specific. You don't buy the whole thing. You can buy something specific,
Yeah, you can always, if you've used something, it's real easy to jump on the website and just get that one little thing for maybe 10 or $15. You're done. If you want to add something to your kit, let's say that you're looking at, let's just say $150 kit, right? And you're like, man, this $300 kit has this and this. Well, you can just buy the two things out of that $300 kit individually, add them to the $150 kit, and you've for half price, you've gotten what you need, right?
Absolutely.
And so I kind of like, and it's not just, you got to think about something with all these other kits. And again, Mountain Medical's is great stuff, or my put together kit. It has everything you need. Here's the problem. What happens if that kit is there and you're the one that's incapacitated?
Yeah.
Having that My Medic kit that everything is like labeled
tell somebody what they need to do. Yep.
I mean, it comes with a fold out poster with a flow chart. I mean, it comes like, it's got like literally a moron can open that up and be able to get to what they need and figure things out the way that it's laid out. There's so much care just taken in that aspect of it that I really like that. But
the thought they put into that whole scenario.
You pay for that, right? Like that's the other thing.
Like I said, it's not cheap. It's not cheap.
Is that worth the extra cost? And for me, yeah.
Absolutely. Chris, bring you in. Build your own med kits, or are you buying them pre-packed, or what?
So, like my first aid, I got a first aid kit that I just keep in my range bag. It's just got like Band-Aids and all that stuff in it. I just buy those pre-packed. And then my buddy Andrew, he's a paramedic for the fire department here in town. He built my trauma kit for me that I keep.
Nice.
So, yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
That's a solid idea if you know a medical person.
That is a great, I never even thought about that. That's a great idea.
Hey, build me a kit. Let me know what it costs.
Yep.
So the trauma kit, I keep it in my truck. And then when I get to the range, I can just pop that out. And I got a clip that I can just clip it onto one of my backpacks or my range bag and take it up to the firing line then. So, so that was pretty cool of him to make that trauma kit for me.
Absolutely. Well, Scott, you just kind of took where I was getting ready to go. Scott says, more importantly, having the med kit is having the training to use a med kit. That was where I was going to go with the med kit next. Is training, and I've talked about this many times. Carrying a gun for a lot of people is incredibly important. There are people that may not want to carry guns every day. you might carry a gun and a med kit, but having medical training, even if it's just basic, right? We talk about being our own personal defender, right? Well, being your own personal or someone else's first responder is just as important, because if you're in a self-defense shooting, whether you're involved in it or not, someone around you is involved. That person's chances are they might bleed out before even the quickest EMT and ambulance can get there, right? So having, and I say this all the time, obviously basic first aid is incredibly important. Stop the bleed and trauma training is more important. Learning how to use a tourniquet, how to use an Israeli bandage or something, learning how to use a belt to be a tourniquet if you have to do something like that, right? Having the skill sets to stop the bleed is incredibly important. And the great thing, obviously, first aid, learning how to do CPR is incredibly important. How to utilize the what do you call them? I can't remember. I'm training those also, but with the defibrillators, right? Being defibrillator trained is important. The great thing about this, guys, is I'm not saying everywhere, but the vast majority, if you have an EMT, and whether it's private or through the hospital, if you have a hospital around, most hospitals give free training, whether it's first aid, CPR, or stop the bleed. They'll give free classes several times a year. EMTs will do that as well. They're almost required. Red Cross is a great one. Absolutely.
I don't know any that's free, but it's literally
around here. It's all free. You can go get your first aid and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. An all day course thing. You sign up online. It's like $15 or something.
Yeah.
And it's literally all day. They cover all time, and you get a legit certification from them when you're.
Oh yeah, for sure. Around here, now you can go and pay for the classes, but around here, if you're paying attention at the hospital and all of that, they do maybe 2 or 3 times a year. They'll do free CPR. They'll do free this. Now I'll tell you this: they're probably not going to advertise it, but like our EMT, I brought our EMT into our local range a few years ago to give everybody a stop the bleed class. And they brought not only do they do it for free, they brought everybody tourniquets. Not the greatest tourniquets in the world, but if you don't have a tourniquet, it's better than nothing, right? I think if you reach out to these people, our EMTs or the hospitals, reach out and say, hey, you guys offering any stop the bleed or CPR or first aid or defibrillator? Usually CPR and defibrillator are one of the same. They do it through the same class. But if you ask the hospitals or EMTs around, even the police departments, maybe the sheriff's department or something, there's a lot of people that will offer either free or very, very, very affordable medical training, which I think is equally as important as any firearm training you can get, for sure.
Well, we've talked about some great companies. I think one thing to point out, and John can of course speak to Skinny Medic if he wants, but I know this for a fact with the 2 I mentioned, with Mountain Man and My Medic, is the online, the access, if you buy from them, the access to the online training and stuff that they have.
Absolutely.
And this is not like YouTube videos. This is stuff embedded in their site, because a lot of it's graphic and it's hard for them to put on something like YouTube and all. So like it's, it's legit good training. If you're a self-learning type person, I know some people, they need the hands-on, you know what I mean, type stuff. And for that, go see somebody. But at the very least, watch that stuff. Real quick though, jumping back, G23 mentioned something out there with My Medic, and this may apply to some other companies too. I don't know, but I know for sure My Medic is the tax write-off of the med kits. If you have a HSA, FSA. Yeah. So keep that in mind too. You may be thinking, oh crap, $300 for this big kit. Good Lord. But if you write it off, what difference does it make?
That's right. That's a good point. Medical kits.
Also,
go ahead.
Mind you, also I wanted to mention this because I got to give a plug real quick because I'm the king of plugs. Come to Goals, because My Medic does My Medic did free Stop the Bleeds this year, and they're planning on doing free Stop the Bleed classes next year too.
Right there, when you walked in, they were right there. That was great. Yeah, that was awesome.
And they're planning on doing it again. So shout out to My Medic for doing.
Yeah, that. No, and My Medic's fantastic. And they're all these companies we're talking about. Our My Medic's great. Like I said, North American Rescue's great. Our buddies over at concealedcarry.com that has Mountain Men, they're all great. There's a lot of them out there.
The Mountain Men contain North American Rescue products too. Some of the stuff.
Yeah.
So you know. Yeah.
But there's a lot of great companies out there that are doing a lot of great stuff. So I mean, go check them out. And there's going to be something out there that's in a price range for everybody, right? And if you don't have a price range at all, like I said, get started by talking to your doctors, your physicians, your EMTs, and saying, hey, I'm trying to start up this med kit or this first aid kit. Do you have anything extra supplies that will at least get me started? And I promise you, hospitals, doctors, and EMTs, especially EMTs, if they hear someone's taking it upon themselves to try to put together a first aid or medical kit, they're going to love hearing that. Right. So they're probably, if they've got extra stuff, they're probably going to be willing to help you out. So for sure. Let's kind of talk knives real quick. Let's transition to knives, because I think that everyone can say that a knife is something that
that's not a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife. I think knife is one of those is a simple answer, especially for gun people, right? Guns and blades typically we're the same people. Most gun people like blades. Not all blade people like guns, but I think that it's a pretty interchangeable crowd, right? Community.
They both poke holes, man.
They both poke holes in just different ways and different speeds, right? But let's talk knives real quick, and I'll start with mine. Everyone knows that, like, my everyday this is one of them. I carry about 3 or 4 different ones, but I'm a folding karambit guy as far as EDC. I love karambits.
He likes to cram it in the butt.
I do. In more ways than one.
Hey, I just ordered a karambit, by the way.
Did you really? Am I rubbing off on you?
There was one on Vine earlier. I thought about you, and I'm like, yeah, send that to me.
Nice. Now I've got like this one. There's 2 different ones. This is not my EDC one, but this is a fixed karambit. And karambits are more fighting knives. Obviously, they can do a lot of things, but it's more of a self-defense knife. It's kind of like a talon, an eagle talon. That's a fixed one. But the ones that I'm carrying,
those Amazon boxes at the pro shop, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. But the folding karambit is something I love. This is my as far as EDC, this is my knife of choice.
Blow the screen up if you're going to show that.
Oh, yeah, I could do that. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
I'm curious. What is something like that when you've got there? What's retail cost on
so this one, like,
it looks
this,
good.
It does look good. I got this online for like $20.
Yeah.
Right? $20. It's a folding karambit, and it's, you've got a chance.
It's not serrated, is it?
What's that? No, this one is not.
Oh.
So this one, I know you don't like serration, so this might be something. This is from I think I got this on karambit.com. Honestly, it's called TRC Force. The Tac Force. Fuck, Tac Force. I can't see. I can't see.
I think I've seen those at gun shows before. Yeah.
You probably have. It's just like a $20 knife. It's nothing special, but it'll poke holes. And it's got some heft to it.
Open boxes. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah! Open a box in a heartbeat. It's pretty sharp. But it's simple. It's not going to overpower your pocket. It's not too heavy. But my knife for EDC choice is a folding karambit, or I do like me an auto blade, a real small, and you can get those for like $10 at gun shows, right? Like a small
OTF?
Yeah, an OTF, just real quick. Real small one, but they're really good. I don't think I have one sitting around here. I got a ton of knives, but not one of those. But you can get them for like $10 at a gun show. You probably get them for $10 at Walmart. But something that's just a real quick, and a blade comes up. What I love about it is if you deploy the spring and the blade, but it hits something like real quick before it gets out, it kind of collapses itself with the spring, so it won't stab you in your pocket, right? It's not going to do that. So most of them, I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying all of them. Most of them. The cheaper you get, the worse chance you have of doing that. But
we've heard of some creators that's had a problem with that before.
I don't want to throw any names out there, but yes. But no, those are mine. Obviously, my go-to is a folding karambit. I do like me some OTFs and all of that. But let's start with. I think we started last time with Chris, didn't we? Something. Let's start with Kyle again. I know you said you carry a knife. Do you have a specific style, whether it's folding, spring assisted, fixed blade? And then do you have like a blade style preference, Tonto or drop nose or whatever? Do you have any of those, or are you just buying a knife that you think looks cool?
I've carried the same knife for the past 5 years. It's kind of like I guess you'd call it like a survival type setup.
Kind of a Rambo type knife?
No, it's
not that big. Knife. Okay,
it's nothing too fancy.
Oh, that's nice. That was like kind of one of those old, like a Gerber or something. That's
kind of. It's very similar.
The blade looks like a Gerber, and I like Gerber knives. Yeah.
So anyways, you have a flashlight right here, but I lost it.
I'll blow you up here. Here we go. There we go.
Yeah, I used to have a little flashlight that slid right in there, and it was pretty handy.
Okay.
Got your magnesium stick.
There you go.
Seatbelt cutter. And
see, that's something. Oh man, I'm glad you brought that up. That's something that people need to start thinking about also. Seatbelt cutters are incredibly important, especially if you're going to have like a backpack in your car or something. Please get a seatbelt cutter for sure. Sorry, go ahead.
That's all I got. I love it, man. It's a faithful little knife.
Let me ask you this for someone out there that's looking, if you don't mind, what does something like that probably run these days?
Honestly, it's hard to tell. I got it at a Irreverent Warriors hike. I won it in a raffle.
Oh, okay.
So it's by Flight Outfitters though. So
I tell you what, was it Flight Outfitters? Let me go and find. Knife. Let's see, a pilot survival knife.
That's what it is.
Holy cow, that's $30.
So there you go.
There you go. That's a $30 knife. That's awesome for people out there. Wanting to do something. That's a really good option. I saw that G20. I just got a G23. That's a cool ceramic you just sent me. He sent me a text. That's a cool one. I like it. Yep. Glass breaker. Yep. Well, here's the thing. These days you can get a glass breaker on one end and a seatbelt cutter on the other. A lot of people will sell those tools to have one on the windshield breaker on one end and the seatbelt cutter on the other end. If you can find one of those, you can definitely. That's a good tool to have as well. John, what about you? What's your kind of your? Do you have a favorite knife, or do you have many that you like to go through, or what?
Yeah, I got many I like to go through. I guess I'm kind of a knife snob of the group.
I'm a knife snob.
I'm definitely not. I got.
I'm not like snob and all those guys. I just like some. Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, cost wise, absolutely cost wise.
So,
I'm a snob as far as style and what I like. Yeah. I don't care about spending the money.
So my favorite is I've got some Spydercos that I really like.
Sure.
The one I carry the most often is the Benchmade Mini Adamas, and then the one that I play with while we're on the podcast is this Benchmade here, which I really like.
Benchmade's a good one. Yep, sure.
So this Benchmade here, it's got like a rubber texture. It's a hunting knife, but I really like the way it's profiled, how it grips. I've got a Crate Tactical OTF that I just got that I really like. My other favorite knife that I carry a ton because it was a grail knife for me. It took forever to get is the Knight's Element Folding Kukri. It is a very large knife, but I really like that knife. But one that travels with me almost everywhere, and I just happened to, because I had to fly and I did carry on only, is this little Kershaw. And
I like it.
It's really nothing, but it'll get the job done. if I need to open boxes, it's got a bottle opener on the end, which is a really small little knife. But I am Dutch-made Spyderco or my go-to when it comes to knives. I've got the mini bug out that I really like carrying. But I really like the 4-inch. It's a real small, skinny knife. I can't remember the name, but it's a Spyderco, and I really like the way that one carries. But the folding karambit is also that Knight's Element is one of the ones I go with a lot because it's a large knife. It's a great fighting knife.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and that's they are fighting knives. Can you utilize them for other things? Yeah, it's not the most pleasant thing to cut boxes with. It's not the most pleasant thing to do certain things. But that's not why I'm carrying that, right? So
yeah. And I always forget, I also have a couple zero tolerances that I really love. One of them is a small zero tolerance with carbon fiber handles on it. Super lightweight, easy to carry, but super sharp and easy to use too.
I've got this one also. These are both just sitting right here. This is a little bit smaller. And this is from pull mine up here. Wartech, and it's a little smaller, thinner profile. And this is serrated clover, so you may not like that one. But this was like maybe a $25 or $30 knife also. It sounds funny. I don't know. Was it 4 or 5 years ago, Clover? I know I sent you and TJ and a couple other. I sent about 4 or 5 karambits to people for Christmas. That was my Christmas gift to people.
I didn't get one.
Yeah, I know that was the year that I got you. I got you a knife that had my name on it. It was a pocket knife, though.
Yeah.
That's it from Ghost. Yeah. I got you the pocket knife, and
that's on my workbench. I use that all the time.
I know that you didn't like, but I got knives for a bunch of guys probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I might do that again this year. Is nothing fancy, but I think that having a knife. But I got TJ and a couple of people karambits because they never really had one, and I think that I'm not saying to go out and get a karambit, right? I'm not saying that. I think people, when they get a karambit, if they get one that fits them right, I think they'll appreciate and enjoy it for what it is. But I'm a karambit guy. But yeah. Clove, as far as knives, I know that you're pretty particular, like you said. You like what you like, but you don't care about the money, but you like the style that you like. Which kind of your favorite? Yeah. I know you're not a big Tonto fan, Tanto or whatever.
Right now, I'll screen share this one since I don't have a camera. But right now, this is my favorite.
Okay. Is that a straight edge or a drop point? That's more of a straight edge, isn't it?
It's got I don't know the difference.
It's a weird one.
But I love the way it sweeps up and then drops straight down. I just love the blade profile on that. That's my favorite knife right now.
It's not necessarily a spear point either. I can't really figure out what that blade is.
No, but I love that one. That is the Civivi Backlash is what that's called. Really digging it right now, and you can't tell from that picture, but it's G10 handles, and then the frame is this anodized like blue. It's a beautiful knife. It's gorgeous. Yeah. It's a flipper and it's a liner lock. So
this is Civivi, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I can't see it. Does it say a price on there?
It's their sub $50 range.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah.
I'll do a full screen real quick.
So it's one of the reasons that I like it, like I said, it's a liner lock. So I prefer a liner lock. I do like the flipper style.
Okay.
Because it's a quick one-hand operation, right?
Absolutely.
So I do prefer that. I prefer a folder. I prefer to be flipper. I prefer to be non-serrated.
Yep.
The blade profile has to turn me on. That's the best I can put that.
I'm the same way.
And I prefer liner lock over button lock, because I have had situations personally, and I've seen it in the past, where somebody was using it, and on a button lock, they would trip the button that they was using it. And you get a sharp blade on your fingers, and I don't like. Nope.
Yep.
Luckily, my experience with that was not severe, but it scared the bejesus out of me. And so since then, I've got button locks and stuff.
Yeah.
I typically prefer a liner lock because that release is out of the way. I'm more concerned, and especially in a defensive situation, right, with having to deploy it rather than put it away, kind of like a handgun and drawing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if it takes a little more time to put it away, so be it. Like, it's not a big deal.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I agree.
But yeah, right now that's mine, and that's kind of indicative of the characteristics I look for in my favorite knives. Now I'll get knives just because they're big and awkward or unique or goofy.
Yeah.
Just to play around with or whatever. But actually carrying, that would be something along that lines would be nice.
Hell, I've been at Walmart or Dollar General, and they've got stuff on sale for $1. And if I think it looks kind of cool, I'm like, hell, that's a cool looking knife. I don't care if it's $1 or not.
For a gun show knife less than $10. How many of those do we have? Because like for $5 or $8 or whatever, like $3, I'm buying that.
Absolutely, no doubt. Chris, we'll bring you in. As far as knives go, do you have one that you kind of typically carry? And what's your favorite kind of blade profile and all that stuff? You can throw brands out there if you'd like to.
So I carry the same knife at work every day.
Okay.
So that's my outdoor edge that I carry.
Okay. Is that more of a razor blade style, or is that an actual
the reason
knife?
I carry it, I can swap my.
It is a blade. Okay, nice. I like that.
Because I cut open water heater boxes and stuff all day long. Now the other thing that I like about this is, like, when I replace faucets, I can take this out and I can use it as a razor blade to scrape the caulking and stuff off the tile.
Yeah.
So I always carry this at work. I've been carrying this one not this. I break these every now and then, so I'll buy a new one. But I've been carrying one of these for about 5 years at work. Now,
what is something like that run? If someone's looking for a quick blade, what is something like that run?
I think this is about $30, and you get a couple blades with it, and then the replacement blades are 5 packs for like $13.
There you go.
So I replace the blade every week. They dull out pretty quick.
Yeah.
But now on the weekends, I'll carry. I like Viper Tech out the front knives. I've got 2 of those. I'll switch those up. And then I'm a big fan of the CRKT knives too. I've got a couple different ones of those I'll carry.
Yep. I've got a couple of those.
But this thing's just awesome for work, for what I do.
Yeah. The whole point I wanted to go in this is you can spend $300, $400, $500 easily on a knife, right? But for someone out there that's getting into everyday carry and you're looking for it, go find a knife. You can find a lot of knives for $20 to $30 that are better than the $5, $10 gun show Chinese knives and all that. You can find them for $25 to $30. You can find some great knives out there that are going to be quality. It's going to last you without breaking the bank. And everyone's like, and a knife to me is a lot like, if you looked at all 5 of us, from what we're carrying every kind of day, you saw 5 different styles of knives, 5 different blade profiles. Like, that's a personal preference, just like a carry gun. Don't let anyone tell you that there is a gun that's right for you. No, it's what you like. You need to like. There's a lot of different criteria for knives. Is it a fixed blade? Is it a folding knife? Is it an out the front or OTF, auto blade, whatever you want to call them? Do they have a clip on there, that you can clip it outside your pocket, or do you like to carry it deep in the pocket? There's all sorts of things, and you have to decide what your preferences are. Do you want, a lot of people like carrying fixed blade. They carry them on their belt, right? Go for it. But you need to figure out, don't let anyone tell you that you have to go and spend $300, $400, $500 on a quality knife. That's not the case. You can go online and buy some really quality knives for, let's say, under $50, that $25 to $50, and get a knife that might last you forever and be exactly what you need. Go ahead, Cliff.
No, I was agreeing with you. I'm like, under that $50 price point or something, for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
No, can you use that $10 one? Yeah, you can use that $10 gun show knife until maybe you can afford something else, but you don't have to spend $400 on a knife for sure.
We were talking about going pokey with like a pen earlier, right? So obviously, if you can defend yourself with a fountain pen, you can defend yourself with a gun show knife. I mean, come on.
Absolutely.
Right? It's just like, what kind of style do you want, right? Like how easy of the deployment, how long is it going to hold an edge for like everyday use? Because defensive use, you're going to be pokey for the most point, right?
Sure.
So the edge is not really going to make that much of a difference. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But if you're using it every day to cut boxes or rope, or like Chris was talking about, scraping stuff or whatever, then yeah, you're gonna want something with a decent type steel. And I'm not snobby enough to know a lot of the differences, but that will hold up, right? Like yeah.
There are different grips, rubber, wood. Like I said, find something. If you can get to a knife show and just walk around, you don't have to buy anything at that show, or go to a gun show that they're probably going to have 3 or 4 or 5 different knife booths at most gun shows.
Easy.
You don't have to necessarily buy them there. It would be great if you did, to help them out. But just go and say, look, and don't be the guy just walks up and starts grabbing stuff. Say, hey, I'm interested in starting to maybe carry a knife, but I've never really been a knife person. Do you mind if I, hold a few of them and ask you some questions on different things? And if they're serious about their knife world, they would love for you to try out different ones and hold them different ones. Figure out what kind of opening they have. Hey, this one's got graphite, this one's carbon, or this one's really hard polymer. Our friends over at Stroop Knives, one of my favorite things that they have is a hard polymer little dagger that's badass. It looks like a little arrowhead, but it's a hard polymer. And I tell you what, you don't want to be poked with that. Just because it's plastic doesn't mean that it won't. It will cut.
It will kill.
It would kill. But yeah, so do that and open your minds up to something different out there. And there's a knife out there for everyone, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, and you're a sucker. I know you're a sucker for anything sitting there that's Damascus. You're going to buy it.
I love Damascus blades. Yes, I love Damascus blades. I own way too many of them, but I love it. I think they're beautiful. I don't carry most of them. I really just think they're beautiful knives, especially if you've got that 1,000 folds or something. They can really create some amazing designs with the folded metal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just something about there's something about to me, like, and I'm even into kitchen knives real heavy, but there's something about really sharp knives. And I don't know for your EDC that you want like a really sharp knife, but it's almost like that ASMR or whatever they call it, right? Like with a really sharp knife to sit there and shave paper or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's something satisfying about a super sharp knife and sitting there and enjoying it. Like,
cooking and all of that. Hell yeah. For me, this is just me personally. I think I know where you're going. And I agree. I think I know where you're going. For me, an EDC knife, I want it to be durable. I want it to hold up. I don't care how sharp it is, because I'm going to poke you with it, and it's going to poke a hole. I just want it to last, right?
It needs to be a combination of it'll hold the edge and it's robust.
Yes.
Whereas a kitchen knife is more, it'll hold an edge.
It'll hold an edge. Exactly. Yeah. We've talked med kits. We've talked knives. The last one I know, guys, especially Kyle is still at work. God bless you, brother. If you guys got about 10 or 15 minutes, I do want to go into this one because I think it's incredibly important, is flashlights real quick. And we can do this pretty quickly because I think all of us carry flashlights and all that. I want to start out saying that my go-to, and it has been for a long time, is the Streamlight Micro Stream. It's a little micro USB rechargeable LED flashlight. There's a lot of great flashlight companies. For me, I've got a bunch of other Streamlight stuff. I've got other companies, but for me, that micro Streamlight for me is the perfect everyday carry flashlight. I'm going to start with Ginger on this one. Flashlight, do you have a go-to style, brand, size, whatever?
I've got Streamlights. My favorite is the one, because I carry it literally every day. It's attached to my keychain. I can't remember what it is, but it's the little one about this big, super bright.
The micro stream, probably.
Yeah.
Is it USB charge? You can plug it into the USB cord and charge it up.
It's just a
AAA battery. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a AAA battery. And then I got a cloud defensive over the weekend, so I'm excited to try that out and see how
okay.
well that actually works. But I like the I do like the Streamlight. I've been a big Streamlight fan, and I really like the little one just because it's on my car.
You might have the nano. You might have the nano. Is it built to go on a keychain?
Yeah, built to go on a keychain.
Clover, is that the nano?
Yeah, I think it's a nano. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. That's a great little light, and it's bright as hell for being really small.
Super bright, real small. We used it, and I use it when we, if we're doing something in the dark. My favorite time we used it, we were walking from a dark parking lot over to a bar that we were going to up north of Phoenix, and it's just there's no lights. It was a cowboy bar, and just walking down the street having that so cars could see us. And some guys are like, "Why are you shining that? So why is your light so bright?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like this big." He was surprised how small the flashlight was. It was just a little bitty flashlight, but super bright.
Pro tip, as G-Webs would always say, pro tip on the Streamlight Nano, the little keychain flashlights at the checkout counters at Bass Pro Shops, are Streamlight Nanos.
There you go.
They're branded Bass Pro and all, but they're Nanos.
Yeah, the Nanos are great ones. Clove, I know historically you're a Streamlight guy, but you know, go for it.
Well, like everybody, I got tons of flashlights, right? Like my Streamlights are not in the kitchen drawer, and definitely don't give my kids Streamlights, and because they would go through so many batteries and everything anyway, and that kind of stuff, right? They usually got cheap ones, but I've got tons of flashlights, most of them which are Streamlights, and I use them all at some given point. I find myself moving more toward the Wedge XT from Streamlight more than anything.
I like the Wedge, but I have talked about this. For me, it's not comfortable to carry. That's why I like the Micro Stream.
No. The XT is. The XT
is. Oh, it's the new one. The new one. Yeah, I don't have one of those yet. I don't have one of those
yet. You're talking about the Wedge. So the Wedge.
I like the Wedge. It's just not a carry one for me.
At your thumb position is where it turned on and off. So they improved over the Wedge. With a Wedge XT, it's a little smaller, still got the same power, the same battery life, but it's a little smaller profile. They put the on off at the end, at the tail cap where it needed to be, or not the tail cap, but you know what I'm saying, at the end where it can be worked in your hand a little easier for carry, and it's USB-C instead of that USB, whatever the old one is, micro USB or whatever.
Micro
so
USB.
Vast improvements with the XT. And so that's why I've got the Wedge too. I like it, but it's more of a work flashlight.
It is. It's more of a work or keeping your car or something like that. Yeah. Chris, what's your kind of go-to?
So I've become a huge fan of these. So this is actually my second one. So that's the Nightcore EDC 27. It's real thin.
Oh, this thin. Okay.
Then your buttons are out here on the end.
It's got a pocket clip. Did I see a pocket clip on there? Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice clip too.
Yeah.
Not a cheap one.
So I carried the 25 for 4 months, and then I got this one. I carried it for a couple, which is what I'm still carrying at work. The only downside to these, you can get them wet, but you can't submerge them. If you dump them, like if I drop this in a bucket of water, it's going to go out.
So I know you've got big ass paws, but can you kind of show us in comparison to your hand about the size of it? Like kind of hold it up in front of your hand. Okay, so it's not overly big. Now you have some big hands, but it's not like overly big. Okay.
Yeah, cool. And it's only 3/4 of an inch thick. Now they just came out with this one. This is the 29. So
it's a little bit bigger.
This one
puts
out 3,100 lumens.
Yeah.
But the new one puts out 6,500.
Holy cow.
See, I'm not terribly concerned with lumens,
But you can see the difference in the head size on it.
Yeah, it's definitely thicker. It's definitely thicker.
Yeah. So
for me, enough lumens is enough. You know what I mean? I mean, for outdoor and hunting and things like that, no. I mean, bigger is better. But for a lot of stuff inside, I find that if you've got too many lumens, if you're under a cabinet or under the dash of a car or something,
kind of skew your
too many lumens can be a problem. So
that's what really
hold on.
That's what's so cool about this. So
adjustable.
Yeah. So.
Okay, cool. Now that is pretty.
So
now,
there, I can go.
If you don't mind me
15
asking, what does
lumens.
something like that run? How much does something like that run?
I think this 27 is about $89.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
But you
That's
can
not bad at
cycle
all.
through your
the
outputs.
settings.
That's
it'll-
pretty cool right there. 15
it'll
all the
tell
way
you
up
how
to
much-
31. Is that what you said?
Yeah, this one will go up to 3100. So,
15
but
to
it'll
31.
go all the way
Wow.
down to 15. So if you only
Like
need
not
a little bit of
1500,
light,
15.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Like a little reading light almost.
yeah, and it'll tell you how much time you got left on your battery too. So
That's a pretty cool. And who makes that?
Night Core.
Night Core. I need to go check that out. That's a pretty cool looking knife right there. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Kyle, bring you in flashlight talk. What's your kind of go-to?
Yeah, mine's Goon Beam. I think it's called the Backup.
Okay, G23 is about the assault flashlight. I just looked at that here just a little while ago online. It's pretty cool. But Goon Beam's got some interesting stuff, man. I've never heard of them before.
Yeah, they've got some cool stuff. But yeah, it's pretty solid. I'm not
which one do you have, Kyle?
The Backup.
The Backup. Okay. They're on sale right now for $89, usually $129. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. It's got a little finger hole there.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Goon Beam. Yeah, I had never heard of Goon Beam before. That's pretty cool.
I've been hearing a lot more about them over the last few months, especially.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys in the last couple of years. I tell you, a brand that's put a lot of marketing out there is the Phoenix Light guys.
Yeah.
I've never worked with them, but I've heard good things about them. Anyone know or worked with Phoenix before? Because they've done a great job marketing the last couple of years, but a lot of guys that I know have used their stuff like it. It's not just marketing. It's actually, they're pretty good lights.
They were like right around the corner from us at SHOT Show this year.
Yeah, they were. Absolutely, they were. Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you one thing, their lights are bright as shit.
They are bright as shit.
I'll promise you that. They're going to get the job done.
They just sent me this little thing. This thing's so cool.
What is that?
Lantern.
That's cool,
okay.
man.
I was going to say it looks like a flashbang, but
That's too many lumens there.
Yeah, too many lumens.
I love Phoenix lights. I don't know. I think this thing cranks out like 500 when it.
I've never worked with them, not because I don't like them. I just never. I'm a Streamlight guy, and for some reason, nothing's really kind of caught my eye that makes me want to try something besides Streamlight. But I've heard a lot of great things about it. Hold on, let me put this over here real quick. There you go.
It's got a little dial on it, so you just turn it, and it just keeps getting brighter the more you turn it up.
That's pretty neat.
That's pretty cool. If you could put like a hook on your car, like you're having to work on your car or something, and put it underneath the hood or something. Oh, there it is. There you go. That's a pretty cool little thing right there. Yeah.
For like changing an alternator or something.
Yeah, sometimes it happens, right?
Okay.
At a parking lot and in a crackhead parking lot at a hotel in Tulsa.
With people looking for weed.
With people stopping and say, hey man, you got any weed? No, dude, we're changing an alternator.
You brought up Goon Beam.
You couldn't make this shit up. It actually did happen.
You brought up Goon Beam, and their pistol light is the exact same as the Streamlight TLR1 HL, so you can use it in any holster that's made for the Streamlight TLR1
The dimensions are the same. That's pretty cool.
Same silhouette. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Nice.
That's awesome.
They're saying out there the Goon Beam Glowy apparently is pretty popular out there in the chat. Let me go. I'm on their website right now. Goon Beam, the assault flashlight is pretty popular. Yeah.
Oh man,
anyways,
you can get one of those glowies for $69.
Yeah, you can get those. Are kind of cool.
Blue light, yeah.
Blue light. $69. Yeah, the Max Glowy.
I've got a couple of red lights. If you're looking at,
I don't use red lights because they bring back bad memories. We'll just put it that way.
Well, I can imagine. Yeah, But if you're, if you're trying not to disturb things or whatever,
Yeah, no, the red lights are great. They just
having
they bring
non-white
back memories. That I don't like red lights unless
Oh,
I
I'm
have to have a
sure.
red light.
Yeah.
Kyle, you know what I'm talking about. But
Now-
no, red lights are phenomenal if you're trying to stay a little more incognito or whatever,
Yeah, not bother anybody.
Yeah.
223 is bringing up Bell and Howell. Now, that's
Yeah,
what my
I was going to
wife.
bring that up as well. I
that's what my wife
don't know
carries.
anything about them. I mean, I know about them, but I've never had one, so I don't know.
Yeah, my wife carries that. That's what they use at the prison for whatever reason.
Okay.
I guess the state of Texas cut a really good deal with Bell and Howell. I don't know, but is what it is. They seem to be okay. She's used it for a long time. Solid light.
There you go. Ginger, do we bring you in for flashlights? We start with you, didn't we? Or who?
Yeah,
we
you started with me.
Okay, so you're good. Man, it's been a great conversation. There's a lot more things we can talk about. We didn't really go down the multi-tool rabbit hole, and I think that's something we got to do. We didn't even talk about pepper spray. We didn't talk about tourniquets. We talked a little about med kits and all of that stuff. I'll tell you another thing, and we talked about it earlier when someone, I can't remember who it was, said wallet, keys, cell phone, and all that. I promise you, a cell phone is a tool. Okay, you can use it for a lot of stuff. Has a flashlight, a cell phone, especially for emergency situations, having communications. Comms are a huge thing. You always want to have comms. There's a lot of people who talk about ham radios. And if you don't want to go and get your license to be a ham radio guy, remember this. You can go get a ham radio for less than $30 typically. And in case of emergency situations, you don't have to have your license. You can call out distress and emergencies without fear of being hunted down. And you will be hunted down if you use it without a license a lot of times. That said, ham radios are great to have. Very, very cheap, but they're very good for emergency situations. You can call out distress and emergency without fear of anything. So ham radios are good. Go ahead.
Easy and cheap enough to get a license, and then you can play with them and talk on them, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you can listen without having your license to other people and all that. You just aren't really supposed to engage in the conversation.
It can be almost used like a police scanner and a lot of things.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, because you can set it up to your EMT or your sheriff or police and hear a lot of stuff. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I want to say that it's we're not done with this series, but it's been great. And tonight was a fun one. I know we're going over 2 hours, and I apologize. If you've lasted this long, then God bless you. You're not getting your money back, and you're definitely not getting your 2 hours back in your life. But we do appreciate you hanging out this long. I want to go through the room real quick. Kyle, I know you're heading to Eric's place this weekend. Make sure you bring mud boots and all of that. And but what's going on at Anderson? Anything that you can talk about right now?
Just IV88 coming up this weekend. We'll be out there in Georgia. Ginger, look forward to hanging out with you, brother. And big things coming from Anderson Manufacturing that I can't disclose necessarily right now.
It's going to be a pretty cool next few months, though. I promise that.
Yeah, pretty excited.
Yeah. I appreciate you as always, bro. Appreciate Anderson. Go check out Anderson Manufacturing on their website. Go check them out on social medias. If you're on their website, and they've already got great deals, but if you want a little bit more, every single person on this panel has a discount code. You can is yours FLR or is it Fully Loaded Reviews?
FLR.
Yes, which one? FLR.
FLR.
Yeah, FLR. Clover's, I think, is Clover Tack. Chris is Chris from the 740. Mine's just Ghost. We do not make a penny off of these. It's something that Kyle and Anderson Manufacturing has done to help out our loyal listeners and all of that stuff, to where you can receive a little discount. So use one of our codes. If you're going to buy several things, use all of our codes. Different ones. Support all of your different creators. But yeah, we don't make anything off of it, but utilize it. Anderson's willing to give you a discount for being around us. I don't know why, but that's their own mistake. But no, I appreciate you, Kyle. I appreciate everything Anderson does for us and all that. And be safe this weekend. I know I don't know if it's going to be a hurricane or a tropical storm, but you're supposed to probably get some weather here pretty soon this week. Hopefully it's gone by this weekend and it's just a mud puddle. But stay safe, bro.
Always.
Absolutely. Ginger, come in, talk a little GOA, talk a little FLR. Go for it.
Yeah, so we've got IV8888 coming up this weekend, which I'm excited to be at. Get to hang out with Kyle all weekend. The big thing with GOA right now is get out and vote. Go make your voice heard. There's 10 million of us gun owners who are not registered to vote. Go out, get yourself registered. Go vote. Make your voice heard. This is a very important election for the 2A. You've seen the executive orders last week. Just make sure that you're out there voicing that you do not want that to happen. Call your congressman, call your senator, all that other stuff. Just get out there and make sure that you let them know that the 2A is not up for discussion. And then, for FLR, I've got a bunch of stuff here to get and review. We're hoping to get stuff filmed when I get back from IV88, and we'll have a bunch of stuff up. So we're super excited about that. We've got the AREX Delta video up now, as well as the Springfield Boundary video, and you'll be seeing a lot more videos coming up, including the Anderson Dissipator. So
the Dissy.
Those are up.
Love the Dissy. Real quick, Fluffy. He says he needs a 10.5 5.56 complete upper with a built-in carry handle. On the website. I know you got a lot of stuff that you guys are crazy busy, but y'all are out of stock on a lot of stuff. Is that one of them that might be coming back here soon, Kyle?
Yeah, we actually haven't launched our built-in carry handle, our A2 uppers. So those are still pending launch, Fluffy.
And though I'm sure when they are available, Kyle will let us know, but you better jump on them quick because I promise you they're going to go quickly.
Yeah, especially Clove likes that shorty. So,
oh yeah. Chris, we'll bring you in here. Thanks for coming on, brother. Can't wait to see you. I guess it shot me the next time we see each other and all that. Glad to hear everything's okay with Christian now, and all that. What you got going on the channel? Anything coming up that you want to discuss? Go for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I got the Tandem Cross, got the rest of the parts to me last week.
Oh, did you? Oh, baby, that thing's getting ready to be awesome. And it already is pretty awesome, but
yeah, so the bench rest 22 is done, and I'm going to start filming with it this weekend. So I'm pretty excited to get that out. I'm loving that KRG Bravo chassis. So
I bet.
Yeah.
It's pretty badass looking too. So, and let's be honest, how it looks is at least half the battle, right? Maybe more than half. If it doesn't look good, I'm not going to buy it, right? And I don't.
Yeah, well, let's hope it shoots good. I got lucky on Friday. I did not know that one of my local shops sells 22 match ammo. So I ran over there and picked up. I got a bunch of SK ammo. I got Lapua ammo. So hopefully we'll find something that it likes. So
yeah,
we're gonna find out this weekend.
Well, that'd be fun.
Thanks for having me on. I'm loving this concealed carry.
I am too. This is one of my passions, and it has been since I started this thing. And I know that I don't want to do it all the time because I know people will get tired of it, but it's important to me. It's one of my passions. And I think it's one of those things that we're seeing more and more people these days, new gun owners. And that's great. We need new people buying guns. But if you're going to buy the gun, then maybe you should make it a tool for you as well and start carrying. And maybe this series and conversations that we're having will help answer some questions, because let's just be honest, guys, there's a lot of people in our community, and I'm not saying in this room or in this chat, but we know a lot of people that can be assholes. And when newcomers come in, someone asks a question and they can be assholes, and it's like, well, you're just turning somebody off from asking questions. So some people out there are nervous of asking questions. They don't want to sound like an idiot. They don't want to sound like a newbie. I don't care. Ask the questions, but conversations like we've been having over the last month or so might answer questions that someone's afraid to ask publicly. So that's the importance of this in my eyes. It might be boring for a lot of people, but I enjoy the carry conversations and all of that. So absolutely. Chloe, I'm going to bring you in. I know that you were at TriggerCon. Obviously, you are not going to go to Eric's thing. You're smart, like most of us. Ginger and Kyle, they got to dig their own hole, but that's okay. Hey, man, wear Kevlar helmets. Make sure that you've got your plate carriers. Get a raincoat and make sure you got mud boots. Just throw those out there. Those are the essentials. Kevlar helmet, plate carrier for the safety, raincoat, and mud boots. You should be good, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What you got going on, Clove? I know you're almost done with the podcast for the second half of the season, aren't you?
Almost.
I know you've got one of our good friends, SJ, Sarah Albrecht.
Coming on in I think 2 days, man. Hold my guns, yeah. And then I've got Mud and Munitions, which is a creator I met at GunCon out of Brooklyn, New York, which is interesting. So if you like that
New York
accent, York, yeah, I can't even say it, but I can't even mimic it right, but yeah, you'll enjoy listening to him.
Yeah, you doing a New York accent would be hilarious.
Yeah,
let's just be honest.
Can't do it, so wait for that. And then Chris from Ross Martin will close the season out. So that's the 3 left. Awesome. And then as far as the content, I know people probably looking for shock and awe out of TriggerCon. It ain't going to happen. The only long video was the range montage that was dropped yesterday. All the rest is shorts, and I'm going to drop those 4 or 5 a day for the and
for those out there, Clover, when he says shorts, he means actual shorts, not the ginger shorts that are 20 minutes long. We're talking under a minute shorts.
Well, this is true. One point I wanted to make, I thought about it. It popped in my head when you talked about the keys, wallet, cell phone thing. Something that everybody needs to be aware of. All of your phones have an incognito mode in which they can dial 911. Learn how to use that and how to trigger that. Because if something ever happened where, you couldn't actively dial it or, have it up to your ear or be looking at it or anything like that, you could still at least dial 911 while it's laying on a table or on the floor or whatever.
Some of them are now maybe voice. You can do it, voice activation, do it that way, whatever. Yeah, there's different ways of doing it for sure, but it's a great point.
Potentially through a watch or something. So, and at least that calls them. It activates the speakerphone. They can kind of hear what's going on, and obviously they're going to dispatch somebody if it sounds weird.
I would say something like this, and this is going down a different rabbit hole, and I don't really want to do that. But if you're ever in a situation to where there might be people around that you don't want to know that you've called 911, there is also ways that you can say certain phrases and teach your phone. If my phone hears this phrase, it means if this, then this, it means dial 911. If you said a phrase like, hey, these cantaloupes are rotten, or whatever it is. These pretzels are making me thirsty. Just don't have your phone around when Seinfeld's on because it might, dial 911. But
can you imagine? Yeah, dark alley, and he's like, "Get your hands up!" You go, "These pretzels
are making me thirsty." First of all, he might leave you alone, though, right?
He may just turn around and walk off. He's like, "Fuck this crazy bastard, I'm gone."
But there are certain other ways or apps or stuff that you can say certain phrases to teach your phone. Instead of saying, "Hey, dial 911," you might not want that person to know that you've dialed 911, but there are ways. Be on the lookout. There's all sorts of things that you can do, right? Yeah. Clover, thanks for coming on, bud. Kyle, go check out Anderson Manufacturing and tell them Go sent you. Go check out GOA and Fully Loaded Reviews with Ginger. Check out Chris from the 740 doing some phenomenal work. And you can go check out Clover if you want. What we're doing is asking you to unsubscribe from our channel because why would you want to watch our shit? If you are interested in going to SHOT Show, there is a video out there on our main channel. Tonight's video, thank you guys. Great conversation to all the panel. Everyone out in the chat was great. I do kind of want to kind of challenge everyone, if you will, to evaluate maybe your setup, your concealed carry setup, non-guns and guns, but start evaluating what you are. Maybe start supplementing it with some of these things that we talk about, knives, flashlights, medical kits, maybe some pepper spray, different multi-tools, all of this stuff. Start supplementing, and I think it was great. I can't remember who it was that started us out. But be willing to start looking into creating your own trauma kit, medical kits, first aid kits. There's some great companies out there that can do it for you, or you can start building your own. You can start with a pre-bought one and then expand building your own from there if you want, whatever you want to do. But start evaluating what you're carrying, seeing what you might be interested out there. And once again, you don't have to spend a lot of money on any of this stuff. G23 wants to know, did anybody pick up a non-dominant hand holster since last show? Negative. I haven't, but it's still a great idea. I think Clover might be the only one that's got one, but he does that because of the position that he typically carries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for joining the show. Watch the show. If you're here live, love you guys. The Ghost Mafia is real. Appreciate you guys. If you're watching this in replay or listening to podcasts, like I said, review, share, subscribe, follow, whatever you can do on those platforms. But we do invite you every Tuesday night at 7 Central to come join the live. We do record in front of a live studio audience, as they used to say on the TV shows, but the chat's great people out here. If you're wanting to meet some new people that are like-minded, come join the dark side. We're great. Go check out Wilder Tactical. If you're in that hole, utilize the suicide prevention that in the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Let us know in the comments what you guys carry on an everyday basis, whether it's flashlight, knife, pepper spray, multi-tool. Let us know in the comments what you guys are carrying, and go ahead and mention companies. It doesn't bother me. We do love hearing that. Thank you guys for watching. Go to the range, be more proficient with your firearms, enjoy your freedoms of being an American, one of which is to keep and bear arms. We will see you next week. Semper Fi.